So Mattel Creations recently did a restock on a bunch of their Barbie the Movie merchandise, which means I was finally able to pick up Sugar's Daddy Ken off of Mattel Creations after I had missed his initial launch. I was super sad about that because I just didn't have the money at the time, and I didn't think that he was going to ever be available again because I really wanted him, and I even had intentions to buy him off of an eBay reseller. But I'm really glad that I did not end up doing that because I was able to get him for retail price. And admittedly, I'm not in love with how Mattel handled this doll or the Barbie movie dolls in general, because it almost feels like a lot of the Barbie the movie dolls were kind of rushed, as if Mattel didn't know how the movie was going to perform, like whether it was going to be a hit or not, so they didn't want to put too much into the most expensive merchandise for it. It's honestly ironic that Mattel didn't put out more actual fashion doll products for the Barbie movie's initial release, given that it's a fashion doll. But if they were kind of unsure on how the movie was going to perform, it kind of makes sense that they put more focus into the T-shirts and keychains and little brand deals and stuff, because looking at it from a soulless business standpoint, which is what Mattel is, those type of products are a lot less expensive to manufacture than a full-fledged fashion doll. And that's kind of why I didn't review a lot of the Barbie the movie dolls whenever they first released or whenever the movie was hot, because even though it would have been the perfect time to do so, those dolls did feel very half-assed to me as a Barbie collector. But I did really want to get Sugar's Daddy Ken because it's kind of crazy that this doll came out at all. I'm sure if you're watching this video that you are already familiar with the controversy behind this doll, but the Sugar's Daddy Ken was originally going to be an adult collector Silkstone doll. I forget which year he was originally supposed to release, but they ended up canceling his initial release because a bunch of soccer moms who don't see Barbie as anything but a kid's brand, even though he was supposed to be an adult collector doll, got really mad that Mattel was making a sugar daddy doll, even though his name has a double meaning. It's a joke, you know? Like, his name is obviously a play on a sugar daddy, but also his dog is named Sugar, and he's her daddy, so it's like it's got a double meaning. But I guess they thought that that was kind of inappropriate since Barbie started out as like a kids only brand, and of course it does seem very stupid for them to have canceled his initial release over that little itsy bit of controversy. I mean, it wasn't even really a big thing. Come on, Mattel, where's your balls? But of course, since the Barbie movie poked fun at a bunch of those little controversies that Barbie had throughout her existence, Sugar Daddy was included into the film, and somehow Sugar's Daddy Ken finally got an official release. So here is the 2023 release of Sugar's Daddy Ken straight out of his packaging. And I might as well go ahead and talk about my main disappointment in this doll, and it's really just the sheer fact that instead of pulling the Silkstone Ken head sculpt out of the archives and adapting it to work with the modern articulated Ken body, they instead decided to use the generic Fashionistas Ken head sculpt, just like they did on the Ryan Gosling dolls. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it just feels really rushed, like they couldn't even get Ryan Gosling's likeness for his initial dolls. And in this case, it's just literally a recolor of the Ryan Gosling Ken dolls. I mean, granted, this one does have more of a California tan, but he doesn't really look like a sugar daddy. I mean, he doesn't look aged enough for me. So that's why on my Instagram a couple days ago, I did a poll. And basically the plan was always to use this guy as a fashion pack. I know, 50 bucks is a lot for a fashion pack, but I couldn't decide whether I wanted to use the Heart Family Ken doll or the Happy Family Ken doll to replace this guy as my sugar daddy Ken, because both of those are more aged Ken dolls that look more like they could actually be a sugar daddy than this guy who looks very youthful. I don't know, maybe he had some plastic surgery. I mean, he's a sugar daddy. He could afford it, I guess. He had a facelift or something. But I wanted my sugar daddy to actually have some wrinkles and some aging in his face. And the winner of that poll, unsurprisingly, was the Happy Family Ken doll with rooted hair. Now this looks like a sugar daddy. Like, even if Mattel didn't want to use the original Silkstone Ken head sculpt, they could have 3D scanned in this guy's head sculpt and updated it to work with this body type and used him in this sugar daddy doll. And in that case, you would get an older looking Ken head sculpt and you wouldn't even have to make a new sculpt. Like, this would be the perfect candidate for them to use on this doll if they weren't trying to put him out before the hype had died down. I think this is Happy Family Ken. I keep getting Happy Family and Heart Family mixed up. But I also love this guy because his hair color is more gray and it's got streaks of white in it, so it's got a lot more dimension. Like you see, it's got some streaks of white on the sides, and he also has wrinkles on his forehead, and he also has some wrinkles under his eyes. I just really, really love this older Ken head sculpt, and if you remember, I actually thrifted this guy. I got him at McKay's for only like $4 a few videos ago, and I hadn't really done anything with him yet. I also love his bushy eyebrows and his eye screening. His lip color is also perfect. He doesn't look as much like he's wearing lipstick as the Sugar Daddy Ken does, like the official Sugar Daddy Ken. Also, this Sugar Daddy Ken release doesn't really have gray hair. He's got like a dirty blonde hair color, which is another thing that I didn't really care for. So yes, I'm going to use this guy as a fashion pack for my actual Sugar Daddy Ken doll. But before I do that, let's go ahead and talk about the base doll for a second. So I didn't look at any of the Ryan Gosling Ken dolls on the channel yet. I did pre-order the Knuff hoodie Ryan Gosling doll that actually had a sculpted to likeness face, which I really, really like that release for the clothes, and I think the base doll looks really handsome. It actually looks like Ryan Gosling. But all the Ken dolls from the Barbie movie collection have the new articulated Ken body with the shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, and knee articulation. It feels like they got some cardboard around this guy's knees, though. And, of course, the head articulation. So he's got articulation, and this guy, eventually, I do plan on making him made to move. Like, I plan on cutting around his head sculpt and popping him on a made-to-move body. Somebody who's got more experience with 2000s Barbies, you'll have to let me know. Like, does this guy have his own body sculpt? I know that the Happy Family grandma has a more wider, more rectangular body than regular Barbies, but is this a regular Ken body sculpt, or is this specifically made for this guy? Because if it is, I might keep him on here. But the outfit that he comes with is really nicely made. I know that he doesn't come with all the accessories that the original Sugar Daddy was supposed to be released with, and especially not as nice clothes as the Integrity Toys, I guess, parody doll that they came out with was released with. I just thought that I'd mention that in this video because I know that somebody would mention it in the comments if I didn't. But Integrity Toys actually made their own Sugar Daddy doll based off of the Mattel controversy, and I thought about maybe ordering him for his clothes instead of this guy. But I just figured I'd go ahead and get the official Mattel one. But the clothes on this guy is good for modern Mattel standards, I would say. I mean, they actually have little plastic buttons on the cuffs of his sleeves. This jacket is really well constructed. I love all of the detail and how well it fits to this body. It actually has real pockets, like a real pocket down here, The top one is also a real functioning pocket, which is surprising. The base of the coat is white, but it also has this very beautiful lime green tapestry pattern on it. The jacket has a little plastic clasp at the front, and whenever you open it, you can see he has a pink polo shirt on underneath that also has a little plastic button on the front, a really well-constructed collar. It is finished on the sleeves and everything, and the pink polo actually velcros in the back. It's really, really nice. The pants are cool too. The pants aren't just plain white pants. They have this little weird seam at the front. I'm not sure if that's like based off of some fashion brand or something. Oh, and they actually have little, like a little pocket detail at the back, which is really cool. And also functioning pockets at the front. The shoes are a little boring. And I only really say that just because they're plain white. I don't know if this is a newer shoe sculpt or not. I don't think that I've ever personally seen these before, but let's go ahead and get this outfit on my actual sugar daddy doll, just to see if it fits him or not. Now this is a sugar daddy. I'm happy to report that that outfit fits perfectly on this 2000s Ken body. I will say that the pants were a little bit troublesome to get over his bend and click knees. But something else that I noticed is that this guy actually has a wedding ring, which I think kind of adds to the scandalism of this doll. And I love that. I might actually like this better than if Mattel were to have released him with his actual head sculpt from the original prototype. But also here is what the sugar daddy Ken looks like without his outfit. Like, how old does this guy look to y'all? He looks like he can maybe be like late 40s at the most, but I think that this is a more accurate representation on a grown man that owns a business that has money that's going to pay for services would look like. And of course, I didn't forget about sugar. I'm really surprised to see that Mattel dug this dog sculpt out of their archives for this release. At least they retained one of the original sculpts from the original Sugar Daddy concept, which was his little dog. This looks exactly like the dog that was going to be originally coming with him. This is honestly one of my favorite Barbie pet sculpts ever, and I'm kind of sad that they don't really use it anymore. It's even squishy, like it used to be. Like, it's a rubbery plastic. I expected them to like 3D print it out in hard plastic, but no, they didn't. It's exactly how it used to be. If you remember in the early days of the Barbie Style Instagram account, she had a little puppy called Honey, and that dog actually used this Barbie dog sculpt. And that sculpt was also used in the Barbie Birthstone collection from the late 2000s. As you can see, I have one of them here. And one thing that I don't like about this sculpt is that ever since this sculpt first debuted in the Barbie Fashion Model collection, I think is the collection that this dog debuted in, they never paint the details on the sculpt like they did initially. Like, you see how this dog has so much more like airbrushing on it, and they actually painted in the whole eyes, like the whole eye sculpt is painted in, whereas this one has just got little dots. I'm definitely going to be repainting this to add some more detail into the dog. Is Sugar supposed to be a girl or a boy? I don't know. They didn't even paint like a tongue on it or anything. The nose isn't painted as big as it should be. I just got a lot of problems with how they painted the dog, but I'm still happy that they used the original sculpt. It still even has the original leash. Like, this is an old leash. It's the same exact size and everything, though the plug at the bottom of the dog isn't the same size. I don't know if that really means anything or not, but I'm still happy to see this guy again. I wish that the Barbie pets look like this again. Like, I just really prefer it whenever the Barbie pets have this semi-real look to them instead of the balloon animals that we got in the Barbie Extra line. Like I love these little pets that they did in the late 2000s, 2010s. I just think they're so cute. And I wish that the Barbie pets looked like this again. They literally can still do it. They just did it, but they choose not to. They choose to make him more cartoony for some reason. I mean, he just looks better holding his little dog, doesn't he? I love this guy. Now that was initially all I had planned for today's video, but I actually have a couple more things that I wanted to look at today. First of all, I wanted to look at this little t-shirt that I received in the mail from wherever this is. This is a little t-shirt that I saw on an Etsy page, one of the Etsy pages that Mattel actually had taken down because they were using Barbie in the title of their listings, and I really wanted this shirt, but whenever I actually went to go order it, I saw that their page had actually got taken down. So I believe that they're selling stuff on eBay now. This page is called Jaina Edrova, and I just thought it was cute how they sent me this little card with my order. And the shirt is also made very well. You know, if you've been here for a while, you know that zebras are my favorite animal. And I really wanted to get this t-shirt that they had made. It's really well constructed. It looks really cute. I love how it's just neutral colors. I really love this black collar across the top. And I'm happy that they were able to let me order it. I actually messaged them on their Instagram and I was like, hey, can I still buy this? They were like, yeah. Now, I will say that I really recommend them, but the shipping from the Czech Republic, I think is what that said, it's no joke. That t-shirt, it cost me like 26 bucks to have it imported into the United States. So, yeah, I mean, shipping cross country is no joke sometimes. So I definitely understand if not everybody will be down to pay that much. But also at McKay's the other day, I found a bunch of dolls there because I don't really know what happened, if somebody just sold their collection or what it was. But I found a bunch of dolls there for really good prices. Like I found this Barbie Swan Lake doll there for only $17.95. I was like, what? Swan Lake Barbie in box? This is probably my favorite Barbie animated movie ever, and I love the dolls that were released with it. Like, I love the pastel colors and the glitter. It's just so beautiful. And like, just like the branding for the movie, like this pastel pink and blue and these flowers, it's just so beautiful. Like, everything about this film is so beautiful. I mean, the severe wall eye on this doll in particular isn't beautiful, but I'm probably just going to be keeping her in box. I know that's a rare occurrence for me. I'm always like, I have to get her out of the box and customize her, but I just like her as Odette, and there's really nothing that I would really want to change about this doll. She's just so beautiful and so high quality. It's crazy to think that this was made for kids. Like, this is a playline doll, whereas we can't get all these little layers and this glitter and this tulle and this like actual like cutouts of the feathers and this plastic that actually lights up on even adult collector dolls. I mean, comparing this to the holiday Barbie dolls that come out nowadays that are $40, whereas this doll was like maybe 20 bucks back in the early 2000s. It's really ridiculous. I mean, just like the drastic shift in quality from, when was this released? 2003, so 21 years ago, we could get this. Like, kids got this 21 years ago, but adult collectors, hell, our clothes on our dolls don't even fit half the time. And 2024, who knows, maybe they will still turn things around. But I actually did have this doll as a kid, and I loved her so much just because of how magical she looked. I always loved this like iridescent pink that Mattel used in the 2000s, and her crown I always thought was really beautiful, how it has this little gemstone encrusted in it. It just made it seem more like ethereal, like she has some sort of like magic in her. Her necklace is also very beautiful. It doesn't have a stone in it, but it's got like actual sculpted wings, and it's a very beautiful pastel color that harmonizes well with everything else. And her swan wings are also very beautiful, very beautifully sculpted. I love the glitter on it. Like they didn't have to put glitter on it, but they did, and it looks good even whenever it's not lit up. So she is going to be displayed in box, actually. But I am going to be unboxing this doll that I also got at McKay's the other day as a surprise. Do any of you remember that Twilight video that I did? I think it's like 3 years old now. Man, that video took so long to edit. I really put everything into my videos back then, and I think it's sad because the videos that I release now where they take like a quarter of the effort to edit get just the same, if not more views as those videos that I did back then where I had so much editing and like memes and animations that I made for them. But I mean, doing all that made me really realize why people don't put all that much effort into their doll review videos. It's just because it's such a niche hobby that there could never be enough people watching them to justify all the stress that I was going to make them as entertaining as possible. But anyway, at McKay's the other day, I also found this Esme doll from the Twilight Saga for only 14 bucks, which is a really good deal because she usually goes for like 30 or 40. I wasn't super in love with this character whenever I first watched this movie as a kid, but I remember her looking a lot older than this, and I guess that's just what happens whenever you age, because whenever I watched this as a kid, I was like, she looks so old, but now I'm looking at her like she don't look like maybe 30 years old. Like, man. But I picked her up because Mattel actually used the 90s Teresa sculpt for this actress. They didn't create any new sculpts for anybody in this movie, except maybe you could count Edward because he had a actually Jacob had his own unique sculpt. Edward had the Harley Davidson head sculpt with an alternate nose, but everyone else, even Bella, like she used the Mackie head sculpt, had existing Mattel sculpts. But they actually used the 90s Teresa sculpt with Esme, and I got her for that fact, also because I really liked her outfit, and I definitely am going to be using this purple top in a restyle of mine. So here is the Twilight Saga Esme Barbie straight out of her packaging. And I remember one thing that people were saying constantly in the comment section of that video was, yeah, these Barbie dolls from this movie are really high quality by today's standards, but back then they weren't as nice as some of the other stuff that Mattel was putting out. And I kind of get it because, I mean, this isn't as good as some of the stuff they were putting out in the 2000s, but it is better than some of the stuff that we get nowadays. And I'm definitely not complaining for 14 bucks, but I am kind of sad about the fact that this doll has glue head. I was very worried about that, but her head is hard as a rock, which means it's filled with glue, unfortunately. Her head, though, hasn't started to yellow or anything, which I guess is good, so I might try to deglue her. This is one of those dolls where I'm like, I wanted her, but it's not one of those things that I would, like, order her. Like, if I found her, I get her, and I'd be happy to, but, like, it's nice to have a Teresa in this super light skin tone. I won't be able to find a body donor for her. I keep meaning to get one of those AliExpress super pale, I think they're like knockoff Integrity Toys bodies for my Alice that Timothy sent me. Because some of those AliExpress bodies are pale enough to put these Twilight dolls on. So I want to articulate them one day, but I haven't really got around to doing that. I love the facial screening on her, though. I don't know how much it looks like the actress. I guess it's the best that they could have used at that time. Maybe one of the model of the moment head sculpts would have been okay for her, too. It's got her beauty mark over here by her eye. The eyes are very beautiful. They're a very beautiful amber color like they were in the movie. She's got some dark eyeshadow and also some like dark wine colored lips. Very, very beautiful facial screening. I also love the hair. Hair is super nice quality saran, though it is sticky from the glue seeping out, unfortunately. I love how they have it styled on the side with this little curl. So she's got a very beautiful face. And also she is on the 2000s belly button body, like all the female Twilight dolls are. This outfit, unfortunately, is one piece. I was hoping that they were separate, but I'm it's fine because I'm gonna cut this skirt off from the top, and I'll just use the top by itself. But the shirt is very beautiful. I love this little ruffle it has on the front and these little gemstone details. It also has some ruffles on the side. And both of these pieces Velcro in the back. The skirt has a little slit in the back, so it allows her legs to move a little bit, but these dolls were really meant to just be displayed. She also comes with some silver pumps that are very beautiful. I'll definitely use these. And then the little bracelet with the Cullen crest on it, I believe is what that is. Not much else I can say about this doll, but Esme is very beautiful, and I'm never going to say no to a unique looking Teresa doll for only $14. So let me know what you all think of my ultimate Sugar Daddy Ken doll. Did I make the right decision in picking Happy Family Ken over the Heart Family Ken? I think I did. He looks really awesome, and a lot better than he did initially. And also let me know what other characters from the Barbie movie would you like to see have dolls made of them. Personally, I would like to see a pregnant Midge doll, and also Alan. We have to get Alan. I'm sure they're already working on that. He was such a popular side character, and I'm honestly surprised that he didn't get a doll with the launch of the film. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content to help me out in the ever-changing algorithm, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.